So we just gotten here to Murren, Switzerland from Grindelwald, Switzerland. It's just down the valley and around the corner.
Hi, John.
And I had flown for the first time on this trip on my Air Design Suzy 3 16-meter mini wing, which is just amazing. I could actually put it in my carry-on luggage, or not my carry-on, but in regular luggage with all my clothes and everything. So it was just a single piece of luggage, and then a carry-on backpack. But these buildings are amazing,
and they know how to build here.
Yeah, they do know how to build there. A lot of these buildings are 200-300 years old. I had made a mistake. I didn't know it yet, but I was about an hour from when I was going to fly, actually. I thought I was going to just walk around this corner and then go and fly, but it turned out that they were repairing the main gondola, and so they used the backup gondola, which is actually a 2-stage, and I'm supposed to be up above that tree line, actually. But I'm happily walking through this beautiful mountain Swiss town, thinking I'm going to fly, and kind of starting to get a feeling like, yeah, I might not be in the right place. And I end up actually going up that hill to the right with the idea maybe I can fly, once I did figure out I was in the wrong place. But I didn't make that call, and instead I waited an extra half an hour, and this put me in a situation where I was worried about the katabatic wind that eventually will come blowing down the mountainside and make any attempt to fly off extremely dangerous, if not impossible. Right. But I'd only flown this glider a handful of times, maybe 3 times, for just the very shortest flight. So this is really the second long, sustained, high-altitude flight. And I had to forward launch. There was not a breath of wind.
Those are clear.
And the sun was setting.
All right.
And I was pretty gripped at this point. I'm like not super confident in my forward launch with this new small wing. And it's getting a little cloudy and a little gray. And my daughter is down in the parking lot. And I'm just thinking, man, this is the right idea. You know, these are the decisions you make. Sometimes it's right on the knife's edge. Should I go or should I not go? You see the pads over on that house. People have hit that a few times.
Woo! Okay. I got that. Woo!
Full of adrenaline. Yeah, now I can relax. I'm only 4,000 feet off the deck. But that's really what paragliding's about. Like, it's either the land, it's the takeoff. You get that takeoff, and that's more than half the battle in many situations. This is just one of the most iconic experiences in Switzerland, is this valley.
Woo.
And to be able to fly over it. So I'm flying very conservatively. I just want to get back down to the ground, see my daughter, who's patiently waiting in the RV. I knew I really wanted to fly on this trip. But at the same time, you know, it's a dangerous activity to be doing when it's just you and your daughter in an RV. So there was definitely an added level of stress from that. But, you know, you gotta live. You gotta make it happen. But yeah, it climbed up that hill, that grass hill, and it is steep, believe me. Do paraglide, this is definitely should be on your bucket list. It's a super easy launch. There are 2 more launches up above that go up another 5,000 feet, I guess, above this. I have a video from the Schildhorn, actually not the very top, but about 100 meters below that. Or I'm not 100 meters, about 1,000 feet below the top of the Schildhorn is a launch. Not as nice as this launch, for sure. It's definitely the next level up. But the times, I'd only flown this one other day, and I did 2 flights. I did this flight from this lower bench, and then I landed, and then I immediately turned around and went up to the Schildhorn, or towards the Schildhorn, and launched from up there.
All right.
And both of those flights, all of the flights that I've had, I've been alone in the skies here, which is a really weird feeling to be in this kind of dynamic environment, these 3,000-foot walls. You're flying in this canyon and you're by yourself. It's an interesting and special feeling. I'm glad I've been able to do it twice in my life. So I haven't really put this wing through the paces. I had not been flying very regularly and had very limited flying experience in the last few years, just due to poor conditions, poor timing, and having other things on my plate. So I'm pretty rusty here, and I'm feeling very conservative. Additionally, just the idea of flying a 16-meter wing instead of a 24-meter wing meant things were happening a lot faster.
John, love you, man. I miss you. Hope you're out here with me.
So John, that I'm referring to, is John Malmberg, or Bam Bam, and this is where he passed into the other side about 5 or 6 years ago. And he was my flying partner, my flying mentor, and the person who taught me how to fly. And we actually did a bunch of flights in Europe. And so that was the last time I was in Europe he was alive. But it's just special to come back here and celebrate the memories that I had with him. And I do, whenever I fly, I do feel his presence with me, keeping me safe. This wall is spectacular to fly up against. It's a little bit, hairball.
Man, this thing fucking moves, bro. Is there a windsock down there?
So I'm not sure which way the wind is coming from on launch. Usually it's coming up the valley, but
Oh.
usually I would be flying into the wind, but I'm actually flying with a tailwind. So I'm going to have to approach this launch, or this landing zone, and land moving up the valley. I think I'm whistling for my daughter to come out. We actually spent the night, very nice, peacefully in the parking lot here this night, and then the next day I did a flight in the morning, and then we drove to France, to Chamonix. There are a couple wires and fence, but this is why flying in Europe is so incredibly awesome. It's just how nice the landings and launches are, and the access to these amazing flying locations. So I had a fantastic flight. I was really buoyed. My confidence was getting back a little bit. The next day I start flying in Chamonix with this wing, and that's when things really start to click. I really start to flow with this setup that I've got. And I can't overestimate the convenience of the size and the fact that you can just take sledders in Europe, or you can fly the higher wind days and do, dynamic soaring and ridge soaring. Europe is absolutely awesome. It is such a cool place. It seems like they really figured it out, but they've had a lot more practice. Right on. Well, thanks for watching. Take care.
No problem.